Soccer executives warn that 100 clubs throughout the world will go bankrupt. MLS announces teams for Youth League. And Georgetown University announces budget cuts as it prepares for a $50 million shortfall. Other budget cuts are coming to Northwestern University, University of Akron, Duke, and St. Edward's University. All of this wonderful news on episode 506 on the Coach Cameron Soccer Podcast. Welcome once again to the Coach Cameron Podcast. Thank you for joining me. I hope the information I give you will help inform you on what's going on to the best that I know it. I don't get my information from CNN or the mainstream media. I get it from outliers where they're not really forced to push whatever agenda they're on. I'm not a big fan of that, but I do have some of it, like ESPN. So ESPN announces that June 1st for Orlando training, and hopefully a tournament that starts 3 to 4 weeks later. It states Major League Soccer plans to return to play during this COVID pandemic is solidifying with the league proposing a summer tournament in Florida involving all 26 teams, sources confirmed to ESPN. So Major League Soccer is scrambling, trying to find a way. How do they deal with what they're dealing with, and how do they survive during this time? Because they don't know what to do. They're scrambling. They're just kind of let's try to do this. I appreciate that. Go and do, and hopefully you'll have success. And hopefully the Bundesliga, I keep saying the Bundesliga, has success this weekend. Will you be watching? I'll be watching. Everyone needs to be watching. Keep supporting soccer so it doesn't die. Speaking of dying, we have a report from the Pittsburgh Post-Gazette. States soccer executives warn of 100 clubs going through bankruptcy, or they're going to go bankrupt. We'll see. Soccer faces losing many clubs to bankruptcy because of the coronavirus pandemic, a slowdown in the multi-billion-dollar transfer market, and possible defaults on payment from player deals made before the shutdown were cited as concerns in the debate of hosting the FIFA-backed research center on Wednesday. So transfers happen. That's how the smaller clubs exist. They sell players to bigger clubs, and now the payments are going in default, or we don't know exactly what's going on, but not everything's working out as they hoped, and it's going to potentially change the state of soccer throughout the world, because if there's none of those smaller clubs making things happen, it's, developing players, and it's just going to really screw things up. And I'm not excited about any of that. It says 100 or 200 clubs may go bankrupt. That is crazy. MLS has their elite youth development platform. They don't support women or girls. They support boys and men. Nothing wrong with that. That's their choice. But I think the outrage from the U.S. women's national team might want to focus on MLS as well. So Major League Soccer today announced that 65 former U.S. Soccer Development Academy clubs are to join the league's existing club academies to create a partnership that will transform youth player development in the United States and Canada. Now, pay attention to these tricky words, moms and dads. I see this all over Facebook. We are part of MLS. Okay. All you clubs that are why does a club have to exist in some super crazy elite acronym program? I mean, why is that the draw? Oh, they're part of this, they're part of that. How about a soccer club, just state players you developed? That's it. Just look what we did with this player. We developed this player. This player is technical. They can do great things. You can develop in your own city, in your own town. There's a way to create a successful U.S. soccer league without being part of some acronym. It was so simple back in the day. You had state champions, regional champions, national champions. One tier, one top tier, that's it. And then we had leagues below that was, and when I played, it was like Flight 1 to Flight 10. Promotion, relegation. Why isn't the youth system doing it that way? That's the way it should be. The clubs that are successful win and develop players, typically. But what we're doing is it's so money-driven, they're focusing on these key points. They'll say this. This is how they get the parents, because they're new group of suckers every year. They say with a focus of maximizing each player's potential, the new development platform will not only provide high-level year-round competition for players, but will provide important programming, education, and innovation in the key areas of player development: player identification, coaching, environment, personal growth, and community outreach. They just throw things together, and I get it. That's kind of how we're trained, through the academic systems in America, is we put proposals together. We make everything look beautiful, but we don't do the work. We can design things and put it on paper, but we don't do the work. And that's a problem. My bullet points would be different. We're going to create technical players. We're going to teach them work ethic. And I like the community outreach. I think hopefully it's about service and developing a human being. I mean, those are things that we really need. But why can't a club just be known for development? This player's amazing because they were developed in this club. But we don't have that. We have clubs that develop players for 4 or 5 years and then cut them and bring on new players that were developed by other clubs or other small communities, and that's how it rolls. It just becomes of the same system. We're part of this. We're going to buy this player, buy that player, whatever. We need a very similar program as they have in FIFA, where if these bigger clubs are going to come steal players, it should be bought and sold the same way. You take it from a smaller club because you're going to showcase them. You're going to pay for it. And that's the way it should be. So these smaller clubs can exist and at least get some funding out of it, but it's not going to be that way. So it's another fake program. It's the same people. So who cares? I don't care about it. But anyways, to the horrible news, Georgetown University, we talked about them before, but they just announced budget cuts as it prepares for a $50 million shortfall. Georgetown University will suspend contributions to employee retirement plans, introduce a voluntary furlough program, and halt some construction as it prepares to enter the next academic year with a $50 million shortfall, its presidents announced. The latest sign of the escalating financial crisis facing America's higher education. This is going to destroy so many programs, and it's truly scary. I've been saying this for a while. July 1st is a fiscal deadline. They're all panicking. What kind of budgets can they put together for the next year of July 1st? And it's coming. Northwestern University furlough staff, cuts executive pay, and taps endowments as its eyes significant shortfalls as well due to the coronavirus pandemic. Northwestern leaders outlined the additional painful measures and projected a $90 million budget shortfall this year. Not good, people. Akron University athletics looking at cutting multiple teams. To maintain its membership in the Mid-American Conference, University of Akron has to field teams in football, men's and women's basketball, and volleyball. As you notice, it didn't say soccer. That's a problem. Teams outside of those could be potentially affected. University of Akron, as have other institutions, have been put in financial bind by a coronavirus pandemic that is affecting all of American life. Akron has 19 athletic programs, 8 men's teams, baseball, basketball, cross country, football, golf, rifle, soccer, and track and field, and 11 women's teams, basketball, cross country, golf, lacrosse, rifle, soccer, softball, swimming, and diving, tennis, track and field, and volleyball. So the mid-major athletic programs have struggled in the world and dominated by the Power 5 conference and their schools. Just last month, the MAC joined 5 other schools in requesting a relaxing of the NCAA requirements for a period of 4 years, according to the Yahoo Sports report from April. And from my knowledge, it was canceled. They're not going to reduce that. So Akron's going to cut some programs because I think they can go to 17. So they're going to cut 2 programs is my guess. But they're going to keep constantly pushing the NCAA to change that so they can cut a lot of things and start over. That's not good. Duke University paid retirement funds contributions, cut salaries for higher compensated employees. Duke says, from the Duke Chronicles, it says, facing a possible decline in revenues of more than $250 million. What? Duke will suspend university paid contributions to Duke faculty and staff retirement 403 plan and cut salaries for highly compensated employees for the next 12 months, with President Vincent Price and other top administrators volunteering taking larger cuts. Well, at least they didn't say athletics yet, but that is going to be a big deal. But Duke has a lot of donors. They're just going to have to tap into their other funds that they get from donors and whatnot. So, yeah, that is a big deal. Big deal. St. Edward's University, that's going to be a problem as well. They are looking to lay off professors and staff as COVID-19 pandemic causes budget shortfall. Reduction in staff were in the last things we considered and desperately wanted to avoid, Martin wrote. Unfortunately, there was no other way to balance the budget. Thus, the fiscal year 2021 budget includes a reduction of employee positions effective this month. The university said it is expecting to lose 12% of revenue because of loss of enrollment due to the COVID-19. So it is eliminating some programs and laid off 10% of their staff. Programs, they haven't stated yet, but they're all thinking. And I'm worried that this can be a big deal. July 1st is coming soon, ladies and gentlemen. More things are going to be cut, and this uncertainty is scary. It is. But don't worry. You have the two-year institutions across America that can help you. It's inexpensive. We have our programs, hopefully, that nothing changes as of July 1st. Looming deadline for colleges and universities come up. So anyways, this is Coach Cameron on episode 506. Hopefully I can have better news tomorrow. I doubt it. Goodbye.